Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me okay now. Guys, just wanted to jump on live. Hopefully you can see the title here. I see there's at least we got a few people getting on here, so feel free to throw in any comments, any questions you might have, whatever the case may be. I wanted to touch on a new home loan that just came out recently called or by Bank of America, which is pretty much going to be a no credit check, no down payment, and no closing cost loan. Okay. So literally this came out pretty much the end of last month, the end of August. I shot a video on it, but then I started looking more into it and realized that they're not going to be offering this loan out to a lot of people. It's more of a trial run. So I figured I need to get on live. How you doing? How you doing? Shogun with the no gun. Hey man, how you doing, brother? Now, I wanted to just tell you guys a little bit more about the actual what pretty much what they're offering. And if you're interested in, I also put the link that way you guys can go over there and start applying. I had shot a video, but then when I realized that it was only for a few people, right? They're not going to let a ton of people in. I think I want to say it's like, let's say 50,000, for example, 50,000 people are going to be able to get this loan. I wanted to make sure you guys got that information. That way, those of you guys who can qualify can apply and be one of those people that get it first. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull some stuff up for you. What's up, Kedrick? Good seeing you, brother. Good seeing you. Hopefully, y'all can see this right now. Can y'all see my screen? Let me know if y'all can see my screen okay. Can everybody see this okay? Basically, what's going on here is perfect. Basically, what's going on here is Bank of America just released a new loan where they're going to be not doing it, doesn't do any credit checks, and they're trying to make it as affordable as possible for they're targeting Black and Latino communities, but this qualifies for anybody. So it doesn't matter what race you are. Basically, what they're doing is based off of certain areas in the US. They're starting in specific cities right now, but at certain places in the US, they're planning on offering these types of loans where they're pretty much going to cover most of your down payment. They're going to cover most of your closing costs, and they're not going to do credit checks. They're going to look at other means to be able to verify your financial worthiness. Okay, so you can kind of see that here. They had a program that was similar to this previously, but it only went down to 3% in terms of the amount of down payment that you needed to have. Now, these are the cities that they're touching on. I'm not sure if you guys can read it here, but I'll read it out loud. So far, they're starting with Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, and Los Angeles and Miami. Okay, but they're planning on expanding this. This program is going to expand more than likely by the end of next year. Okay, make sure there's no questions here. Cool. Yeah, so this loan here is, I mean, I'm seeing articles are starting to be written about it. It's starting to get a lot more popular. And I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to get your hands on this information as soon as possible, because this is not going to be something that's going to be out there they're not just going to let half of America apply for this. This is more of a trial run. So they're going to get people into this program, see how it works, and then they're going to decide whether they're going to roll it out for the mainstream. Okay. So the way the loan works is this: no credit check. Again, there's not going to be any sort of credit check with this. But what they're going to do is they're going to look at factors like timely rent, utility bills, phone, auto insurance payments, and so on and so forth. Okay. So they are pretty much just going to be focused on making sure that you pay your bills on time. And that's what they're going to use to gauge. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is I've shot videos in the past about how it's quite possible that we're going to get to a place where banks aren't going to want to use credit scores anymore, right? Because the way credit scores work is this: there's a company called the Fair Isaac Corporation that has the FICO score, which is the score used by majority of lenders, about 90% of them. And the way it works is every time that a bank wants to pull your credit score, they have to pay to get access to your credit report. So that's how Fair Isaac is making money, or one of the ways that Fair Isaac is making money with the FICO score. So why not eliminate that and have a more what they hope is going to be a more accurate way to be able to gauge the credit worthiness of somebody. You kind of see how now there's a lot of fintech companies out there who they don't even care about your credit score. All they say is link this to your bank account and we're going to see what your transactions look like, and that's how we're going to decide how much to give you in terms of credit, right? That's how they're basing how much they're going to extend to you guys. Now, hopefully that makes sense. So I think the banks are kind of looking at other avenues in terms of gauging credit worthiness, while also trying to help the what they call the underserved youth or underserved community, excuse me, right? So we're thinking, Blacks and Latinos. I'm sure you guys have seen statistics about I want to say African Americans are behind by like I think 40% in terms of home ownership. And then I want to say Latinos, they might be like, let's say 50 or 70%. I'm not 100% sure on those statistics, but the gist of it is that Blacks and Latinos are falling way behind when it comes to what percentage are actually homeowners and what percentage aren't, right? So that's what this program is hopefully trying to fix, because typically it's going to be Blacks and Latinos who have issues when it comes to credit, right? And aren't able to access certain credit products. Like you guys, I'm sure have heard about payday loans, right? Those are literally, if you go and you drive around different areas or different cities, you'll see that those are predominantly in Black and Latino communities. That's where you're going to find those type of payday loans. But payday loans are literally, you're pretty much set to fail when you get a payday loan, right? And so those kind of things are what is affecting your credit because of the circumstances that you're in. And it's kind of like this snowball effect to where you're unable to ever fix your credit because you keep getting put in these situations where you're pretty much getting taken advantage of by the financial system, right? So they're really looking at this to hopefully fix this situation. Now, let me see. I'm going to pull up this. This is straight off of Bank of America's website, by the way, y'all. I don't know if y'all can. Let me see if y'all can see the link at the top, right? And this is a special link. Let me know. I'll throw it down even in the comments. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on here, but I'll definitely try to throw it in here. Let me know if you guys can see this in the comments. That way y'all can, even while I'm talking about it, y'all can go ahead and check it out as well. Let me know if y'all can see that link. So this is straight off the Bank of America website. Now there's a get started button there, so y'all can go ahead and check it out. If you're just jumping in, guys, welcome. Pretty much what I'm breaking down here is a new loan by Bank of America. It's a no credit check, no down payment, no closing cost home loan that they're now offering. This thing literally came out August 30th, right? That's when they made the announcement saying that this is going to start being offered, okay? So if you qualify, this is definitely something that you want to check out. I touched on where because this is kind of a trial run. They're not extending it to every city. They're extending it to only neighborhoods in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. Okay. So I don't think it's going to be the full city. I think it's going to be more of like certain areas in those cities, but you can definitely go check out the link that I just put in. Make sure that make sure that either you're in that one of those areas or you're planning on getting a house in the area. Then, hey, I'd recommend that you go and jump in and apply because they're only going to let a few people in. Let me see in here. I think it even says. Yep, they're going to let only 60, it looks like 60,000 individuals into this thing. Okay. So I recommend that you guys get into it as soon as you can. Let's see here. This is going to be their main website. The link I just threw in. Basically, here it is, right? Up to $10,000 towards your down payment. Okay. And again, guys, I'm shooting a video on, I've already shot it. My editor's working on it. We're going to get this out to you guys on Monday. I just kind of wanted to run through it and kind of hit some high points just to, make sure that you guys were able to get in there. I saw so many articles coming out. I had typed up this video and planned on even shooting it in a couple of weeks, but then I realized there's so many articles coming out, so many people talking about it that I didn't want it to be where I release information and then y'all end up missing, kind of missing the wave and they're already booked up and everything and you're not able to get in. Okay. So up to $10,000 towards your down payment or 3% of the purchase price. Now, some of you guys are going to say housing prices are too high. They're so high that this doesn't even make it worth it, right? But they actually even tell you to combine this with other down payment assistance programs that are out there, right? So what you want to do is you want to look in your communities, right? Whether your municipality, sometimes you'll see that, like, for example, I'm in the DFW, right? So Dallas. The city of Dallas might have a down payment assistance program too. You can literally combine it with this program. And that way you're able to get even more than just the up to $10,000, right? And that's something that they advise you to do as well. On top of that, you're going to see up to $7,500 in eligible closing costs. The issue is this: whenever you actually try to go get a mortgage, what people run into trouble with is that you need to have a large amount of money saved up to even get a house. A lot of people think, oh, I just got to have a good credit score. Maybe I need to have a good enough income and I'm good. No, depending on, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but depending on where you got your loan from, where you're located, you might have closing costs that can be upwards of 6-7% of whatever your home value is. So if I'm buying let's say $200,000 or $300,000 house, what is that? $300,000 house, that's going to be $21,000. You pretty much need to have $21,000 saved up just in closing fees. We're not talking about the typical down payment that you need on top of that, right? So this is a game changer because it gives you up to $7,500. And at the bottom of the page, I believe it's this page. Let's see. Okay, no, it's another page. I'm gonna have to find you guys another link. They also list a bunch of places where you can also find closing cost assistance programs. Okay, so don't look at this as like this is the last, like this is it in terms of what you're going to be or what you have access to. You need to find ways to take this information and then combine it with other resources that are out there, right? So look in your municipality. Let me even see how to I wrote down some notes on this thing. So you want to make sure you want to look in your let's see, your any housing agencies in your area. So usually cities, especially bigger cities, will have their own housing agencies that can also offer down payment assistance programs, all these other different types of programs. You want to look for whether they have down payment assistance programs. Look for grants. A lot of them offer grants. That means that's money that you're not even going to pay back for sure. Guaranteed no payback. You're going to see sometimes your employer can offer you certain assistance programs as well. Also, and this is why I think it's huge that you talk with your city. Sometimes they have what's called deed restrictions for inclusionary zoning. So what that means is certain areas where there's builders who are actually building like large, like tract homes or building large communities of homes at once, they might have to actually block off a certain amount of those houses that they can sell to low and middle income families for cheaper than what those houses are really worth. So while they're selling to everyone else those houses for 300, 400,000, they might have to sell it to somebody else for 275, for example, right? So, and I'm just those numbers are just for example. So that's why it's big that you want to take the advantage of this information, but also go and reach out to wherever you're located, your municipality, to see if what kind of other programs they have that you can combine with this, because it's quite possible you can be able to literally get into a house practically for free, right? And now all you got to focus on is making sure that you can make those make those monthly payments on the mortgage month to month. That's a game changer for a lot of people. Imagine if you're able to get a free 20, 30, $40,000 off of a house, why not do it? Okay, so that's kind of how I look at it. If y'all have any questions on what I'm talking about so far, be sure to throw it down in the comments. If you just jumped in and you're lost, just say something so I know, and I don't mind reiterating on basically what I was talking about. But the gist of it is this: Bank of America has just released a new no credit check, no down payment, no closing cost home loan that's become available. Literally, they just announced it on August 30th. So you're getting this information pretty much brand new. If you Google search this, you will see that articles are literally just coming out. Literally within the last week, articles have been coming out about this information. So that's going to be pretty much the gist of it. I just wanted to jump into that real quick. Let's see. And hopefully I mentioned as well, some of you guys, y'all might have employers that actually offer down payment assistance programs or even mortgage grants and things like that to help you get into homes, especially if you're in a larger, you're at a larger company, right? Like a Fortune 500 or anything like that. They'll typically have some sort of programs like that they're not really advertising. It's on you to actually go to HR or whatever department and talk with them and see if they offer any types of programs like that, right? This is literally pretty much free money to help you be able to get into the house that you want, right? Get into the house of your dreams. So that's the gist of it. Now, there were some research centers that have talked about it. They're saying this is going to be a huge help, a huge game changer for a lot of low to middle income people, right? Just because of now you don't have to, there's not that big barrier to entry in terms of you having to save a lot when it comes to that down payment. Okay. So that's going to be the gist of this information. If you guys have any questions, whether it's related to this specifically, or maybe you have any questions related to personal finance, feel free to ask me any questions right now. I'm probably gonna stay on about 5 minutes. If you guys have anything that you want to ask before I run out the house, be sure to throw those questions in now. Also, something that I found pretty interesting. I shot a video. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go to my channel and check it out. There's a video about the NACA program, NACA, right? The NACA program was, I mean, it's quite similar to what you guys are seeing here now, right? I basically found a program where they didn't rely on your credit score. Well, come to find out, they were also partnered with Bank of America. right? So Bank of America has been doing it for 26 years with those guys, and that's what kind of spurred it for them to, hey, why don't we start our own program that does something similar to that as well? Okay, so these are two great programs that you want to be able to check out. Definitely something that I recommend you guys take a look at. All right, so it looks like I'm not seeing any other questions here, guys. If you're just jumping in, guys, welcome. Basically, what I just touched on was a new program by Bank of America where they're pretty much offering no credit check, no down payment, no closing cost home loans, right? And so this program, which you can see here, is literally just came out. I threw it in the comments. Hopefully, you can see my comment there. They literally have just released it. They released it August 30th. I recommend that you guys take a look and check it out. Alrighty. So that's going to be pretty much it, guys, for this live. I'm going to probably leave this live up for at least 24, 48 hours. So you guys can come back to it if you want to watch it another time. But be sure that you take advantage of this program, guys. They're literally giving out pretty much free money. You might be able to get into a house depending on where the house is located, depending on what your situation is. You quite possibly might be able to get into a house for pretty much free, right? At least get into the house for free, and then all you have to worry about is that those monthly payments. Okay, so be sure, if you're just hopping into the live, be sure you rewind it back and take a look at what I was saying from the beginning. But that's going to be the gist of it for this live, at least today already. I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you back on Monday with another video. Peace.